While people on the outside look at it like you're being an a-hole, what's really happening is you're fully embracing that dominant masculine presence. And women love it because it provides structure to the relationship, which lets them relax into their feminine, feel more safe and secure. When a guy can say no without explaining himself, a lot of outsiders will think, man, this guy is cold. This guy has no feelings. He doesn't take her feelings into consideration. What a jerk, right? What an a-hole. But the thing is that when you're able to say no and tell your wife or your girlfriend no and be able to set boundaries and be able to weather her emotional storms and tantrums about it, she sees you as a man who she can't push around, and she loves it. She loves it. She's like, man, I can't get my way with this guy. I kind of dig that. Because if I can't get my way with this guy, that means that other people aren't going to be able to manipulate him easier, and so that he can better handle life, And a lot of this stuff really comes down to whether you can handle life or not, right? So she sees that as someone who won't be pushed around, and she loves you for it. And the thing is that guys can really step over the line with some of this stuff, right? You can cross the line of being assertive and setting boundaries and whatever, and being a control freak, And so a lot of women might mistake a guy in the beginning who's really controlling as a guy who's able to maintain frame and set boundaries and stuff like that, but then he ends up just being a controlling insecure jerk. And that's where, like, when those women get out of those relationships, they complain about guys like that because they initially fell for it, where they thought that, oh, this guy is just providing structure, and he's not, right? So you can do all this kind of stuff without being a controlling jerk. You don't actually have to be an a-hole. I don't know if you knew that. By the way, guys, do be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday without fail so far. And I hope to keep it that way for the foreseeable future. By the way, can you guys drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay? I just want to make sure my audio is good before we get too far into this. I see Nurse Chick's in the house. She says, good morning, gentlemen. Thank God it's Friday. Nurse Chick always gets this.
So naughty.
She is.
I'm going to come.
And I will, definitely. And then CW says, what's good, gents and Nurse Chick? Frame Friday. That's right. A lot of this stuff is about maintaining a strong masculine frame. That's why we're talking about this on a Friday. Jerry's in the house. What's up, man? And then my man, Erkin. Good day, folks. Erkin's like a regular. He's like he's always in the chat. I love seeing this guy. And he always sends me Swedish krona super chats. I actually remembered that this time. And then Nurse Chick says number 1. So I guess you guys can hear me all right. All right. So another way that people might think that you're being an a-hole, but you're really not, is you don't adjust your decisions to please anymore. Okay. It might look selfish to others, but really you're being more decisive, And the thing is that a lot of women, they don't like making plans. They don't like making decisions. And the thing, and us guys being raised with the happy wife, happy life paradigm, we like to put that in her lap, right? What do you like to do, honey? Where do you want to go eat, honey? And women hate that crap. They're always like, you pick a place, right? And they throw it right back at you because they need a guy that makes decisions and makes plans. And a lot of guys are afraid of making the wrong decision. They're afraid, if I pick this place and she doesn't like it, now she's going to have something else to be mad about, right? And that's guys are just constantly walking on eggshells, afraid of their women's emotions. But guys who are a-holes don't ask for her permission. They don't ask for her to make a decision. They make the decisions. Like, let's go do what I want to do, right? When I first started practicing that, I had the paradigm of this wouldn't work. There's no way this will work. And what I found was, by testing it out, which I highly recommend you guys don't take my word for anything, go test out what I talk about. When I started testing this stuff out, I found, holy crap, this works so great. And on top of that, I get to do whatever I want to do. It's amazing. But for her, being the one in the relationship, it signals strength and certainty to her. She's like, I don't have to make decisions. I can just relax and show up and look hot. All I have to do is look hot. This is great. That's all I've ever wanted to do. So when I first started doing this, I was like, man, I can I always get to eat at the restaurants I want to eat at. I always get to eat the food I want to eat. I always get to go do the activities I want to do. This is phenomenal. What world did I land on, right? And Nurse Chick and I have been together for going on 5 years now, and she's been trained so well that she knows that if she doesn't chime in on what she actually wants to do, that I'll just pick a place, right? So she knows that if there's something that she wants to do, to speak up. Now she'll say, "Hey, I was thinking about X now, going and doing X. Let's do this weekend." And I'm like, "Yeah, sounds good." There's no reason not to take your girl's ideas under advisement. When you start practicing this stuff, a lot of guys think, "Oh no, she came up with the idea. F that. It's my way or the highway." And that's where you get into a-hole controlling territory. And that's not really what we want to do here. We just want to be more assertive, more decisive, be able to set boundaries and stuff like that, and actually have a healthy relationship, right? And with that, there's no reason not to take your girl's buy-in on stuff. Okay. So, but you being the guy that makes these decisions and you're not adjusting them to make her happy, that signals strength and certainty to her. And she really likes that. Speaking of which, a lot of guys have this problem where they have been deferring to their girl too much over time, trying to keep the peace, trying to make her happy, and it's eroded the attraction in the relationship. There's a 5-step process that women will do to you subconsciously. And if you don't know what's happening, you won't know how to defend against it. So grab the free ebook. It's the top link in the description, or go to ebook.fixdeadbedrooms.com. But it explains this sort of thing and why not having these traits that we're talking about today, assertiveness, boundaries, all that kind of stuff that looks to people on the outside like you're being an a-hole. If you don't have those qualities, she's going to walk all over you and eventually lose so much respect for you that she eventually cheats on you or leaves. Okay. So if you want to prevent that from happening, grab that ebook. Okay. So another thing that comes across as being sort of a cold a-hole to outsiders, especially nice guys, is you let her get upset without fixing it, right? It's not your job to fix her emotions. Okay. So people outside call it emotional neglect. They'll look at that like, man, what an a-hole. This guy's just emotionally neglecting her. She's got these problems. She's venting, and he's not even there for her. And it's not about not being there for her. Okay. But the thing is that she will feel more safe and secure in the relationship when you don't react to every mood she's on. Like if I say it all the time, don't climb on her emotional roller coaster. Okay. Women they have their emotions are like the weather, is what David Data describes it as, right? Their emotions are like the weather. It changes. You can't control these changes. Okay. And so your job as a man in the relationship is to be the rock, to be the one that's not constantly shaken by emotions. And that's easy for you to do because you don't have as much estrogen pumping through your body as she does, right? You have testosterone, which allows you to keep more level-headed. Now, I'll tell you this, if you're a guy who is always up in his emotions, you have no emotional control, you have a lot of brain fog and all this kind of stuff, especially if you're getting older, you might want to get your testosterone levels checked. Okay. It's a big problem. It's a problem that most guys don't even realize is happening, but your testosterone levels are dropping as you get older naturally. But the thing is that with all the stuff in our water, our food packaging, the soaps and the hair products you use, all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of parabens in there that over time are killing your testosterone production in your own body. And they say that testosterone in men nowadays is like way lower than it was back in the 60s and 50s and stuff like that. And it's just because of our environment, right? So go get that checked. It's gotten so bad that the government set the levels, they shifted the levels lower, right? Instead of fixing the root cause of why are testosterone levels dropping, they're like, well, we don't want guys to have too much testosterone anyway because it makes them actually think for themselves, actually allows them to be stronger. It gives them a lot of vitality. We can't have these guys with all the wisdom that they've gathered over the years and have the testosterone levels that they had in their 20s, because then they would be like supermen, right? Can't have that, right? So go get your testosterone levels checked. Is a long story short. If it's like below the normal range, and the normal range is kind of really subjective too, because it's what it's like 300 to 1,000 or something like that. Okay. And this is, total testosterone levels in your body. If it's below that, that's a big problem. But the thing is that your doctor might tell you if your testosterone levels are like 350, they're like, well, it's in the normal range. Yeah, it's normal maybe for an 80-year-old man. It's not normal for a guy in his late 30s. Okay. So if you're down closer to the bottom of the range, you want to do some things to maybe boost that up. There's natural supplements for that. There's, lifting heavy, that'll help with that. Losing weight will help with all that kind of stuff. If you're well below the normal range, you might want to go talk to an endocrinologist and actually get on TRT. All right. But if you can't get control of your emotions, a lot of times your doctor's just going to prescribe a SSRI, some kind of antidepressant or whatever. You might just have low testosterone. Okay. Check on that. All right. But getting back to your girl's emotions, that's not your job to fix her problems. In fact, most women don't want you to fix problems. And that's really hard for guys because we're wired to be problem solvers. So when your girl brings you a problem, your natural gut instinct is to go, well, here's some solutions to that. And the problem with that is that she doesn't want your solutions.
New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe now.